My name's Aaron, and I'm about to tell you what happened last spring in northern Idaho. I've never spoken about this publicly, and honestly, I don't think anyone will believe me. But if even one person hears this and stays away from Blackstone Ridge, maybe it'll matter. It all started on a Thursday night. I had just finished a late shift when my phone rang. It was my younger sister, Emily. She rarely called, she always texted. But her voice sounded shaky, almost hollow, when she whispered, "Aaron, I think someone's outside my house." She lived alone near the base of Blackstone Ridge, in a rental cabin she loved for the quiet and the isolation. Isolation that I would later realize made her a target. When I got to her cabin, she was pale and trembling. She told me she'd been hearing whispers near her bedroom window. But not just any whispers. Someone whispering her name in her exact voice. I checked outside with a flashlight, expecting footprints or an animal. Instead, I found drag marks. Long, deep grooves carved into the dirt. They ended directly beneath her bedroom window, and then simply vanished, as if whatever made them dissolved into thin air. Over the next few days, things got worse. Emily woke up one morning screaming, pointing at a symbol burned into her bedroom wall. 3 vertical lines with a single slash through them. We tried everything. Scrubbing, painting, nothing covered it. The burn was too deep. That same afternoon, she fainted. The doctor said she was exhausted, stressed, dehydrated, but Emily insisted it wasn't stress. She whispered, "It's the ridge. Something is coming down from that ridge." At the hospital, a local deputy named Jacobs pulled me aside. I expected him to dismiss everything, but he didn't. Instead, he asked me if Emily had heard mimics. The word alone made my skin crawl. He explained that for years, people living near Blackstone Ridge had reported hearing voices, perfect copies of family members calling them into the forest. Some people vanished. A few came back, but broken. He said the ridge wasn't closed because of hiking accidents. It was closed because something lived up there, something that called people by name. 2 nights later, the thing came back. I was asleep on Emily's couch when a slow scraping sound dragged me awake. It circled the cabin, sliding across the siding like nails or bone. Then it moved to the windows, then the back door, then right behind me a whisper, "Aaron." It was Emily's voice, but Emily was asleep in her room. Something tapped the window hard enough to crack the glass. My phone had no signal. Outside, I heard something calling my name again, in my exact tone and breath. The next morning, we found more drag marks, leading into the forest, toward Blackstone Ridge. Jacobs warned us that whatever was calling her didn't want the house. It wanted her, alone, on the ridge. Emily begged me to drive her out of town, but while I was loading her bags, she screamed. By the time I ran inside, she was gone. The house was wrecked, and the symbol, those 3 lines in the slash, was burned into the living room floor, still warm. The search teams found nothing. No footprints, no clothing, no signs of struggle outside. It was as if she'd walked into the woods willingly, or been pulled there by something only she could hear. That night, while everyone slept at the ranger station, I made my decision. I was going up the ridge alone. The trail twisted through trees that leaned inward like they were trying to hide something. The air felt thick and wrong. About a mile up, I found her flannel jacket, perfectly draped over a branch. A few feet away, one of her shoes, clean, untouched. Then her voice drifted between the trees. "Aaron, help me." Except it wasn't right. It was too close, too smooth, too practiced. The whisper moved from ahead of me to behind me, circling me, repeating my name with a hungry tone. Then I saw it, a shape standing half hidden among the trees. It was tall, thin, moving like it didn't understand how joints were supposed to work. The face it wore looked like Emily's, stretched and wrong, as if it had been borrowed. It tilted its head at an impossible angle, bones cracking softly. Then it smiled with her mouth and said, "Follow me." A scream echoed further up the ridge. A real scream, a human scream, Emily. I ran toward it, through twisting trees that seemed to shift around me. Suddenly I burst into a clearing near the summit. There, surrounded by black standing stones, carved with that same symbol, was Emily. She was tied by her wrists, barely conscious. And behind her, a towering shape. A mass of limbs, antlers, and faces pressed against its skin from the inside. Faces that whispered in different voices. My voice, Emily's voice, our mother's voice. I couldn't move. My legs felt like they were sinking into the earth. The creature turned its head toward me, and the whispers grew louder, overlapping, pulling at my mind, my breath, my will. A gunshot snapped through the air. Deputy Jacobs came crashing into the clearing, firing round after round. The bullets bent in the air before touching the creature, like metal refusing to go near it. "Get your sister," he shouted. I cut the rope from her wrists. She could barely stand. "Aaron, run," she whispered. We stumbled down the ridge as the forest twisted behind us. The creature didn't walk. It shifted, appearing closer every time I blinked. Its breath felt like cold air on the back of my neck, even when I couldn't see it. We reached a narrow rock ledge. Jacobs yelled, "Jump!" We did. I twisted my ankle. Emily hit the ground hard. Jacobs landed beside us as the creature leaned over the ledge above, its many faces writhing in silent fury. And then, the first rays of sunrise broke over the trees. The creature recoiled, its skin bubbling like boiling tar. It melted into the shadows and vanished among the trees. Emily survived, though she has never spoken about what she saw up there. She moved to another state, far from any forest. I moved too. But sometimes my phone buzzes with an unknown audio message. When I play them, I hear static. And beneath the static, a whisper. My name, drawn out in a voice identical to my own. "Aaron, we're not done."